Hi everyone. Today's topic is actually a little bit related to game theory, which is bargaining game. We talked about the negotiation and the transaction cost. Once again, the transaction cost is the cost involved in the bargaining or negotiation. So actually, it is essential uh, to know, have the knowledge on how the bargaining is proceed in order to understand all these court procedure and legal matters. Why? There is something called the settlement. I'm sure that you can see this a lot in the movie. In Korean, it's 합의, 합의. Okay, so we got this feeling that whenever I have an argument with my neighbor, we go to the church, and how things will be resolved. The You may think the judge would say, "Oh, Prasan, you are wrong. Your neighbor is right," something like that. That's the verdict. However, in real life, especially in America, uh, the judge hardly has a chance to do something. Even before going to the judge, my lawyer and my neighbor's lawyer talk about it, and they give me advice. First, if you go to the court, your chance to winning is very low, and you will spend tons of your time and tons of money, and after 1 or 2 years, you will lose, and then you lose more money and you waste your time and things like that. So why don't we just make an agreement with your neighbor and giving him like $10 instead of $100 after 1 year of this judge's verdict? So I say, okay, I don't want to waste my 1 or 2 years of my short life on this like court. So that is before I got the verdict of the judge. Long before that, I settle with my neighbor. Okay, that's how things usually go. For example, you bumped a car on the road in Korea. So every time you bump a car, do you go to the court? No. You just call your insurance company and you talk about it and say, okay, okay, I'll pay 50, you pay 50, something like that. That is settlement. If you cannot settle with a car you bumped, then you have to ultimately go to the judge. If you say like, no, 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 I never pay 50%, then you have no option. The other guy has no option. Other driver no option. You should go to all the way to the judge, and the judge will say, "Oh, Han, you are 50. The other car, you are 52," something like that. But you hardly see someone bump to each other on the road and they go all the way to the judge, unless somebody killed or something really severe happened. So the settlement is actually larger portion. In America, I think 95% of the cases are settled. So the judge see only 5% of the case. So there would be more settlement, much more settlement than actually the judge make the verdict. Okay, and the settlement process is a bargaining process. Okay, that's why we have to know about the settlement process, bargaining process. Even though in this process, even though the judge does not appear, actually the role of judge is very important in reality. Why? When I bumped a car, someone's car, and the insurance company say 50-50, I settle with 50-50 not because of I trust the insurance guy. What basically the insurance guy tells me is, okay, if you go to the court and you go all the way to the judge's verdict, like 99%, the judge would say, you're 50, the other guy is 50. Maybe the judge said like, you're 40, the other guy is 60. But it's really around 50-50 in this case. So please do not waste your time, valuable time and money on this, because you never get much better than 50-50 division on this car accident, even you reach the judge. Okay, so it's very important what would be the judge's verdict when you are negotiating on something. So you say, if I don't agree, if I don't settle, I'll get 50. So when they say, oh, let's settle at 50, then you have no reason to go all the way to the judge, wasting your time and money. Okay, so that's why it is important. Judge's role is important, and the legal process is important. Okay, we are going to see that this week. By the way, this is the 5th week of the lecture. No, 6th week. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Why the settlement may be good? Number one, I said the judge has less information than the people involved. Okay, you have a dispute on the land with your neighbor. Does judge ever live there? No, probably judge never been there. But you and your neighbor knows all the history. Okay, so even though the judge is a very smart person, he does not really know the 100% truth, because you're not gonna tell the 100% truth, because something your neighbor is right, and your neighbor is not gonna tell the 100% truth because he think you are right at some point. So the judge should make a decision if he ever does the verdict with less than perfect information. On the other hand, if you settle with your neighbor, you and your neighbor has much better information than the judge, so the settlement can be more efficient. Another thing, maybe more important, is I already mentioned that the settlement is quick. When you have a car accident, you can settle it in 1 or 2 hours, right at the spot. You exchange, or maybe in less than 5 minutes, you exchange your name card and say like, okay, I'll pay for it, something like that. So the settlement can be very quick. But if you ever go to the judge, you have to hire a lawyer, and then it takes long time. Some suit goes for 10 years or something. So this suing process is so time and money consuming, only because of that you don't want to be involved. In that sense, settlement is very efficient. I usually use this pizza game, imaginary game made by me, when I explain the bargaining process. Okay, so I'm gonna spend some time to describing what this pizza game is about. I assume that there are two ladies, Penny and Barbara, and the name of the game is pizza game because Penny and Barbara want to divide the pizza. They got one free pizza, but it's instead of dividing half and half, they want to get a bigger pizza. Okay, this pizza is really good, and they want to have more than, if possible, more portion of the pizza. In order to make the negotiation bargaining process simple, I make an assumption. The bargaining has only 2 rounds. 12:20, the pizza was delivered, and this time Penny makes an offer. It's not like argument or something. Penny say, "Oh, let's divide the pizza. I got 70, you got 30." And then Barbara cannot get the counter offer. She cannot say, no, I'll get 70. She cannot do that. Okay, this is assumption. The only thing Barbara can say is, yes, I'll accept. You get Penny, you get 70. I get 30. I'll accept that. Or Barbara may say, no, I will not accept that. Naturally, if Barbara accepts that, they make a settlement agreement, and the pizza would be divided as Penny has offered. But if Barbara says no at 12:20, they wait 20 minutes. And this time, 12:40, Barbara makes an offer. So Barbara said, okay, let's divide it 50-50. If Penny accept that, then she said yes, and the pizza would be divided as Barbara has suggested. But if Penny still say no, they should do the bargaining again 20 minutes late at 1300, 1 p.m. But unfortunately, I will assume the law and economics class begins at 1 o'clock, which both Penny and Barbara takes. Okay? So, which means nobody can eat the pizza, and the pizza would go to the wastebasket, and what a shame. This is how the game is set up. Another important assumption is the value of pizza. At this point, I want to ask you, the pizza is just delivered, and but you didn't eat. You wait 20 minutes, you wait 40 minutes. So which pizza do you prefer most? As soon as it was made, 20 minutes later, or 40 minutes later? I don't know about you, but the pizza just made is much more delicious than 20 minutes later, 40 minutes later, or 1 hour later. That's why I would assume that the value of pizza, considering the temperature and the texture and the deliciousness, is 100 at 12:20. However, after 20 minutes, the pizza got a little bit colder and the value would be 70. So even though you eat the whole pizza at 12:40, you are not going to get the same 100, which you would have gotten at 12:20. You are going to get 70. And if they wait until 1 o'clock and eat the whole pizza, then the pizza got really cold. And even though you eat the whole pizza, the value is only 30. This is realistic not only for the pizza, but in many cases. Let's assume that you have a room in an apartment, and you want to rent a room or rent an apartment to someone. You have 2 apartment houses, and then Jim, somebody named Jim, said, "Oh, I want to rent a house." And I said, "Okay, monthly you should pay $200." And Jim said, "No. The maximum I can pay is $100." But you do not yield. Jim does not yield. So you spend 2 months arguing about it. Would you like it? Of course. In the long run, you want to get 200 instead of 100. But think about that. For the 2 months you are fighting with Jim, you didn't get any rent. So it can be 200 plus 200, 400. So $400 you didn't get. What about Jim? He want to move in. Where is he now? Probably he's in hotel. And he want to get at 100 instead of 200. So that is why he's this bargaining process for 2 months. However, if he has moved in, he didn't have to spend something like $300 for hotel for 2 months. So both Jim and you, as time passes, the profit decrease. That is quite common in every bargaining process. Okay? So if bargaining is prolonged, the people involved, all of them lose money. That's very typical of in any bargain. Okay? I already mentioned that when someone offers the other guy, if Penny offers, Barbara can say only yes and no. If Barbara offers, Penny can say only yes and no. The formal name for it is take it or leave it offer, which may not be very realistic, but if you think about the essentials of bargaining, somebody suggests, the other person say yes or no. So basically, in any bargaining process, take it or leave it offer is also a essential basic element. So this pizza game I set up, if you understand, is simple, relatively, but actually got very realistic. Okay, at this point I'm gonna tell you a little bit. I postponed this pizza game as far as possible because it's involved with calculation a little bit. So what I'm going to do this next lecture would involve some calculation. So I need your focus and energy and effort more than other lectures. So let's do it. So pizza game continues. In order to analyze this pizza game, what I'm going to use is backward induction. Okay, backward induction is people usually think as time goes. You think about now, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. So it usually goes the present time to the future time. Okay. However, backward induction goes the other way. You begin to thinking from future, then present. So if I do this, my son and my wife would react like that. And in the future, if today I do this, tomorrow my wife would be angry at me. So should I do it today? No, because tomorrow my wife would be angry. I don't want that. Then I don't want to do it today. So it's like I'm thinking about why my wife's reaction tomorrow if I do that, and based on that, I decide not to do this today. So that is typical backward induction. You think about consequences in the future, and thinking about that, and you decide, okay, I'll do it, or okay, I will not do it now. So that is how backward induction works. Why am I talking about this? Going back, if you are Barbara and Penny at 12:40, when you make decision, what should you think about? You should think about 1300. What you have to remember is, if I don't make an agreement at 12:40, 20 minutes later, nobody can eat pizza. I cannot eat pizza. I have to go to the classroom with a hungry belly. Okay? So at 12:40, you have to make decision based on what will happen at 1300. Likewise, at 12:20, when Penny makes an offer to Barbara, Penny and Barbara should think about what will happen at 12:40. If Barbara says no, they will move on to 12:40, and how would it be expanded? What would happen? Thinking that, I would rather go the second round, or I would rather stop here. That's why what should be inside Penny and Barbara's mind at 12:20. Okay, that is backward induction. Okay, in that sense, think about 12:40. Both of them know if at this time Barbara will make an offer, Penny will answer yes or no. If Penny says no, then neither Barbara or Penny get any pizza. They will get 0. Which means Barbara will offer Penny 0 or almost nothing. The value of pizza at 12:40 is 70, so Barbara basically offer Penny, maybe you get 1. I got 69. But then mathematically, Barbara can offer, you get 0.1. I'll get 69.9, something like that. So virtually, Barbara will give Penny really, really small, almost 0, and all 70 value of the pizza would be Barbara's. And Penny said, okay, 0.001 0.001 pizza is better than nothing, so Penny will say yes. So at 12:40, considering nobody will get anything, Penny would accept even a very small thing, almost zero, knowing that Barbara will offer Penny, oh, you got almost zero, I got almost 70, offer, and Penny would say yes. So thinking about that, what if Penny offers at 12:20, oh, Barbara, you get 50, I get 50. Would Barbara accept it? No. Barbara knows that if they got moved to 12:40, she will get almost 70. There's no reason she will settle for 50 at 12:20. So knowing that, Penny said, oh my God, I should offer Barbara at least 70 in order to get yes from her. Otherwise, Barbara would say no, and at 12:40, Penny I will get zero anyway. So the logical conclusion is Penny will offer Barbara 70, and Barbara said, okay, if I say no, I'll still get almost 70, 69 something. 70 sounds good for me, so Barbara will accept 70, and Penny will get 30. Of course, Barbara would be happy to get 80, but Penny has no reason. 70 would be the minimum that Barbara would accept, so Penny has no reason to increase from 70. So Penny offers, Barbara, you get 70, I'll get 30 at 12:20, and Barbara would say yes. So the dividing pizza ratio is 30 for Penny, 70 for Barbara in this logical pizza dividing game. And what I want to emphasize is they settled it at 12:20. This is very important. 12:20. Why? Because the fact that the game was settled at 12:20 means the result is efficient. Here, once again, what is efficient? Efficient is making the pie bigger. And at 12:20, the pizza or the pie was 100. 12:40, whatever they do, the sum or the value of the pizza would be 70. 1300, it would be 30. So, as a society, the only thing that decide the efficiency or the size or value of the pie is the time. If Barbara and Penny, whatever ratio they may divide it, if they agree upon 12:20, that is good. That is efficient. The pizza cannot be any more valuable than that. Okay? So, in this pizza game, if you are the efficiency guy, you only look at what time the game was settled. And in the previous game, we thought about it was settled at 12:20 when the pizza value is 100. That is why we say the result is socially efficient. Needless to say, if they settle at 12:40, it is inefficient. Okay? Here, I'm going to explain more in the next lecture, but we have to remember that Penny and Barbara know each other in this game. Penny knows exactly what Barbara does. Barbara knows what exactly Penny does. What does that mean? We are going to continue in the next lecture.